Welcome everyone to the Places to Grow collaborative learning event. As you probably know, Places to Grow is a catalyst for excellence in early childhood development, and we are active in Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary. And we are working on connecting the different players, different stakeholders who are working on early childhood development. And mostly we are focusing on systemic change, trying to change the system of early childhood development in these countries, which means a lot of advocacy work, which means a lot of work with municipalities, national governments, and institutions. And we do the learning events to share insights from our partners and beyond. And today we are having a very interesting event, which is the continuation of a previous event. And that being said, I'm really happy to welcome Jackie, who will be our moderator today. Jackie, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Mader. I'm an early childhood journalist for the Hechinger Report, which is a nonprofit education news outlet based in New York City. I personally am based in Texas, and I've been reporting on early childhood education for about 10 years now. Before this, I was a teacher, but worked with older children. I love reporting on the early years, and I especially love reporting on solutions, which is why I'm really interested in this conversation. Over the course of the last decade, I've become really interested also in what America can learn from other countries. And I've done some reporting in Norway and Canada, but I'm really excited to kind of merge global solutions here in this conversation and learn from the work that our three panelists are doing to really improve early childhood and get involved more. So we have three fantastic speakers today. We have Dilyana Maneva, Deputy Executive Director at the For Our Children Foundation. We have Lora Lalova, Corporate Social Responsibility Expert at Generali, Bulgaria, and Veronika Teplá, Social Sustainability at Škoda Auto, Czech Republic. So I'm going to turn it over to Dilyana in just a minute. But first, for all of you who are watching and listening, we're going to make this really interactive. So I would love to see any questions you have. Feel free to put those in the chat. And as our speakers are presenting, I will either jump in and ask them the questions or wait until they're done at the end of their time. We will also have another Q&A at the very end. So feel free to ask any questions that come up, and I'll be watching that as we go. Dilyana, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. It's really great to meet you all. Thanks for the opportunity to share the experience of For Our Children Foundation, and especially to Teresa and Christina, who invited me, through our former CEO, Ivanka Shalapatova, who has shared incredible things about your community. So I will now share my screen. Jackie, if you can confirm that you see my screen?
I do, yes.
Okay. So as Jackie already mentioned, I'm part of For Our Children Foundation, which is one of the largest nonprofit organizations in Bulgaria, focused on early childhood development and support for young, vulnerable children and their families. We are quite a large organization with 33 years of experience because we were a former British organization that came to Bulgaria in 1992. We have supported over 30,000 children and families for the last over 30 years. And we're really proud of the impact we have done together with the community and our supporters. Since 2007, For Our Children Foundation is an entirely Bulgarian organization, because the former British nonprofits left Bulgaria, and this was actually a crucial moment in our development because it pushed us to explore the opportunities of joining forces with the business in Bulgaria. So I'm really excited to share our philosophy of partnering with businesses in Bulgaria because this is also my professional path so far. For our Children Foundation really believes that corporate partnerships are crucial in developing sustainable ECD solutions for Bulgaria. We believe that we have common interests with different corporate donors because we have shared values and purpose. And this is one of the most important aspects when we look for a partner that we want to create a sustainable partnership with. We really explore what a partner from the corporate world is seeking to achieve when partnering with our organization. And I'm really happy that for the last more than 10 years, we see a huge wave in Bulgaria of companies that really realize that early childhood is an important cause that they can invest. We also believe that for one partnership between nonprofit and corporate partners to be successful, it has to be co-created. And for the business to really seek an opportunity, it has to be also, it has to involve also some type of innovation. So later on, I will share more about a few examples of co-creation and innovation when we are talking about corporate partnerships. And last but not least, we are really seeking to create partnerships that are long-lasting and that involve engagement on a different level. Rarely we do partnerships that are only 1 or 2 years because there is not enough time to actually explore and see the impact. And we really do try to tell this to our potential partners that if they want to see the real impact, it has to be a longer than 2 years partnerships. And also for a partnership to be really meaningful and impactful, it has to involve also the employees and the clients. This is a crucial part of all our corporate partnerships to find the best way to engage with the employees in terms of volunteering or fundraising initiatives, but also with the clients when we do marketing cost-related campaigns or different kind of initiatives. And a few examples that I wanted to share with you about the long-lasting results of the joint efforts with the businesses. I've selected a few of maybe the most important moments of the life for our Children Foundation that have been possible because of our partnership with the responsible business. On the first photo, you see the start of the building of our family type accommodation center or residential home for abandoned babies. This is a building now that was possible to be created because of the joint efforts of the business in Bulgaria. And it was an important path of the Bulgarian transition from the older social institutions to the new smaller types of home for abandoned babies. Through corporate partnerships, we have also managed to create the first permanent exhibition of the deinstitutionalization in Bulgaria. And I mention this because I believe that companies are powerful in their support to bring awareness to important topic. And through creating this permanent exhibition, we are telling the important story of the social homes in Bulgaria and how to never allow for them to be in our life again. Also, through corporate partnerships, we have developed numerous programs and social innovations throughout the years. Maybe the first example, dating back in the beginning of 2000, is our foster care center that was created entirely with funding from corporate donors, and still up to date is supported financially through corporate donations. We have also managed to create a crisis response programs with corporate support, crisis response programs that were created after COVID-19 and especially after the war in Ukraine started. We managed to raise funds to create a new program in the foundation. And lastly, I want to tell you the story of our really impactful partnership with Generali Bulgaria, and later Lora will continue this topic. But this is a powerful story about how a non-profit and corporate donor can really make an impact on early childhood development. Our partnership with Generali started very simple with one call back in 2013, when Generali Bulgaria decided to donate its budget for Christmas cards. They decided that they want to for this small budget to be more useful. Then the next year, the next month, actually in January, we met. We discussed that the company can actually launch a very small cost marketing campaign in order to raise money from its clients. And the whole leadership team of Generali Bulgaria realized that the company has the opportunity to seek a longer impact. So from 2014 until 2019, the company has been investing in our family type care center and has been the biggest corporate donor. But this was only the beginning, because in 2019, the Human Safety Net Foundation was created, the Generali Foundation, and our local partners from Generali Bulgaria were actually those who invited us and who created this opportunity for the foundation to be even more impactful. Thanks to the funding from Generali's foundation, our organization has managed to support over 3,000 children and families for 3 years. But not only that, but we were able to scale up our huge program. And now we are in the last year of our scale-up project, and we're really happy that we have managed to multiply our impact and to create even more opportunities for children and families in Bulgaria. And lastly, it is really important to say that we value this partnership because it's not only the funding that is, of course, very crucial for all nonprofits, but it's an opportunity to bring awareness, to also use the power of a corporate donor in terms of advocacy and community mobilization. And this particular photo is from a very special event with Generali at the British Embassy in Sofia that managed to bring important people together and to discuss the issues of ECD in Bulgaria. And also capacity building, because we have so many volunteers from Generali that help us with communication and financing and all the difficult topics that almost all nonprofits struggle with. And lastly, employee engagement, that has been very, very important in all our journey with Generali. And I'm sure that Lora will tell you more later. Lastly, I really believe that when we join forces with all stakeholders, but especially with business, with responsible business, we can really achieve amazing things together. And I'm sure that during the discussions, we can also explore more about this topic. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope that we can stay connected.
Thank you so much, Dilyana. That was so interesting. I especially love the employee engagement because I feel like, and I'm sure all of you watching have experienced this, if you are not in the early childhood world, it can be hard. People don't even think about it, right? So it's really important to get that awareness and grow that awareness. And I'm sure we'll talk more. Also, we have a question about if we will be able to share the presentations later. Yes. Okay. So we will figure out a way to share those, yeah, to make sure you get those. And this is a good segue because you mentioned Generali. So let's go to Laura now for her presentation. Go ahead, Laura.
Thank you so much, Jackie, and thank you, actually, very big thank you to the organizers, to our hosts, because that's an amazing event, and I think we need more and more events like this to share our experience and knowledge. We don't really have to invent the wheel. And let me see if I can share my slides. I'm actually very lucky, I think, because Dilyana introduced half of my points. So I hope I will be able to expand on the most important things that I think constitute the human safety net. And let's start. So I decided to actually start with a broader overview of the human safety net and just lead you to the place where the human safety net in Bulgaria is. Because we are actually we are a network, and actually I could say that we are a complex network, getting even more and more links and connections in between. But above and beyond, we're a global movement of people helping people. The Human Safety Net is a Generali initiative dating back to 2017. Before that, Generali and the different business units around the world had a lot of initiatives, a lot of little campaigns or bigger initiatives, but all of them were actually a bit disconnected in a way, and probably a bit ad hoc. So by 2017, our colleagues decided that it's time to bring our efforts together and design and actually deploy a model that is more comprehensive, more coherent and sustainable in time. Because what we are looking for and what we are working to achieve in the human safety net is a long-term transformation. We're not here just to implement a project and move on. We're actually here to help our societies, our respective societies, transform. So our mission, of course, is to unlock the potential of people, and we believe that our support, whatever we do to help our NGO partners, can actually help those people, vulnerable people, to transform their own lives and the lives of their communities. We believe that they know best, and they just need support when they need it to make their lives better. At global level, we have two programs. One is for families with young children from 0 to 6, and the other program supports refugees and their integration into the host societies through work opportunities and employment. Currently, we are present, the Human Safety Net is present in 26 countries where we have Generali. And our network of partners is growing. I think each year we add another partner to the network. Currently, we have 85 NGOs, and this is instrumental for us because it's the NGO partner that, THSN, as we call it, the Human Safety Net, is equal parts Generali initiative, equal parts our NGO partner. In 2024 alone, through the two programs, we managed to reach, you can see, more than 300,000 people around the world. And of course, our desire, our plan is to reach even more in the coming years. So from the global perspective, I'm kind of bringing you to Bulgaria. And the quote you see here, I think it's one of the fundamental questions to answer. Why does Generali, as a company, as an insurance company, invest in early childhood development And it's not a surprise. You can see we all believe that this is, together with education, this is perhaps the two most crucial areas where positive impact is needed, because this is actually, we believe this is the foundation, and this investment in ECD actually is the best investment in the future of our society. I'm not going to go into too many details here because Dilyana, as I told you, she described our history together and our timeline perfectly. But I just want to point out that, yes, we did start back in 2013. At that time, we didn't really have this vision, and we couldn't even think that it's going to turn into, our partnership's going to turn into the human safety net and beyond. But that's it now. That's the reality we have. And the most important thing is that it's, for us, it's a long-term partnership that is here to stay and grow. So even beyond 2026, even beyond the next project that we implement together, there is always going to be this connection and this partnership between the two, between us from Generali and for Our Children Foundation. And probably, at least this is what I thought, that it's going to be interesting for you to learn more about our partnership model. It's, I would say, it's not necessarily unique, but it makes it a very, how to put it, a very different model of public-private partnership, because we have actually the global team of the Human Safety Net, our local team here in Bulgaria, and our NGO partner. And each of us actually has a very unique role that adds to the whole picture. So when it comes to the global team, they're actually the team that provides grant making. So at the previous slide, if I can just go back one step, yeah, you can see that, for example, when we launched the Human Safety Net in early or late 2019, early 2020, we had this pilot project together with for Our Children Foundation, which then, taking all the results and all the lessons learned, we actually moved to the Scale Up project. And as you can see, we are now at the end of the Scale Up project, looking into the design of the sustainability project. So this is actually all thanks to the support and the grant making coming from the global team. But this actually has a correspondence at the local level. So we're all involved in the process. And once the project is finalized, for example, we provide, Generali Bulgaria provides a co-funding support, which is guaranteed. And this is our way of saying our support at the level of project. The global team also offers monitoring and evaluation support. The main idea here is to strengthen and to, pretty much ensure that our have the utmost capacity to monitor and evaluate their project, so that we see if we are actually making this tangible impact that we're aiming at. It's also a very good place for networking. So yeah, as I mentioned, 26 countries and 85 NGOs. It's an incredible pool of expertise and experience to tap into. When it comes to the local team, and that's our main work and main pride, source of pride, I've mentioned the corporate support. When it comes to fundraising and volunteering, they are very much connected in our case, meaning that our colleagues are both volunteering and they're also organizing different fundraising campaigns. We're now actually very close to what we call the Global Challenge. It's a whole month, and the whole month of June is dedicated to different fundraising campaigns initiated and organized by colleagues. The main idea and the main goal, of course, is to support independently from the project, to support our NGO partner as much as possible and the best we can. When it comes to volunteering, this is actually a source of pride, I would say. It's I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's probably the most difficult element of our work, because it involves constant communication and constant interaction within the company to guarantee that everybody is on board, understands very well why we do it, how we do it, and finds their right place in the whole volunteering experience. And yes, I'm not going to stop and go into too many details about our NGO partner. What we actually rely on them is their expertise to deliver quality services, to innovate, and to be willing to scale those promising practices that they have arrived at. Very, very briefly, I mentioned that we're very much forward-looking, and it's a long-term involvement and partnership. Just to mention a couple of initiatives you see, these are elements that we have either launched and developing, or we are going to fully start in the coming years. When it comes to corporate support, our sort of next step is to invite and welcome as many of our corporate partners as possible. The Human Safety Net is an open network, so we would like to see as many partners joining the initiative. We're also working on something very, very interesting, THSN integration within our insurance products. But yeah, it's as I guess I would probably say that this part is something more of a long-term plan right now. When it comes to fundraising, we feel, at least in Bulgaria, we feel that it's the right moment and we have grown enough. And it's the right moment to actually open the Human Safety Net to our customers. Each year within the fundraising initiatives, we see more and more local offices joining our campaigns, organizing little events on their own. And the next logical step is bringing our customers on board as well. And when it comes to volunteering, our big dream for the future is to make it as more meaningful as possible for both our colleagues here at Generali and for our partners for our Children Foundation. We have recently launched THSN Academy, and what we would like to achieve with the Academy is a more structured and direct volunteering that has a professional element. What I mean, our first program is financial literacy for parents. And this program actually is going to be delivered jointly for our Children Foundation experts and Generali volunteers in direct support of parents who might actually need and benefit from such a program. And with that, I'm not sure how I'm doing with the time, but yeah, thank you so much. Open for all sorts of questions.
Thank you so much, Lora. That was great. And I have some questions for you. I'm sure the audience does. Let's go to Veronika, though, and then we'll wind up questions at the end if there's nothing pressing. I don't see anything in the chat, so I'll save my questions. Veronika, why don't we go to your presentation? I think, Teresa, there we go.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Teresa, for sharing the presentation. And thank you very much for the invitation, first of all, and to this event, and to you all participants from very interesting areas and organizations, which I checked already, for joining us today, so we can have a look at some interesting and hopefully perhaps inspiring activities we are working on in the field of the early childhood education. As Lora said, and I like it very much at the beginning of her presentation, that it's really not necessary to invent a wheel all the time. So let's share, and I like it very much. So again, my name is Veronika, and I work for Škoda Auto in the Czech Republic in CSR department, especially that manages the projects of social sustainability focused on strategic areas, education, of course, included. The first of all, maybe I would like to present you with the several points which I will explain in a little more detail. The first of all, just let me tell you just a few sentences about Škoda Auto company and its social sustainability strategy, because it's important for framing my presentation, I suppose. Secondly, I will present you our story, why Škoda Auto as automotive company supports preschool education. And then I will show you very briefly our regional pilot project focusing on preschool education. And last but not least, I will touch a little bit the topic of sustainability of changes after direct support, which I see very crucial. So first of all, a few words about Škoda. I'm sure you know the brand, but just very briefly, we are part of Volkswagen Group, and we are the bigger employer in the Czech Republic. We have 35 employees and many others abroad, and we are fourth best selling brand in Europe. The reason why I'm telling you this is that I would like you to understand that our role goes beyond the car factory, and that we consider ourselves really as a role model in CSR activities in the Czech Republic for our employees. As it was said, it's very important in the previous presentations, and to our communities. So imagine the Škoda provides 5% of national GDP of the Czech Republic. So we are really directly connected to the whole national economy, and but we are still very locally and community orientated. We have also established a few years ago in 2018 Škoda Auto Endowment Fund to be more focused on the projects of local communities. So, and now our story. Why the big industrial automotive company as us is supporting preschool education, when you can tell that we really need new educated employees right now to be able to produce cars and move towards future electromobility. So we mainly support projects targeting primary schools. But our next priority has become improving the quality of preschool education. So we actively support the development of regional kindergartens with the goal of enhancing their educational work and providing base to their future development in rapid changing needs. So the preschool education to us, it's shown to be very crucial. And it's very crucial for child development, you know better than me that, and has a chain effect on subsequent education and employability in the job market, which also impacts regional economies. And because our company is very data orientated, and when we had a look at the clearly formulated conclusions of Nobel Prize winner in economics, you might know him, it's called James Hechinger, where he demonstrated through various long-term studies that in the economic return on investment in human capital decreases with the age of children. So the preschool period is therefore essential, and investing in early childhood educational programs will help us as a company so much to connect with the national GDP and with the EU economy, save the money in the future. And that data also indicate that well-structured preschool education can help reduce inequalities in the future. So with this data-based approach, we also found We also found internal way to approve investments in programs with our board of directors, which was very challenging, which at first didn't really understand why our company should support systematic changes in education with a focus on early years. So convincing our board of directors was one of the biggest challenge for us, to be honest. So I also wanted to share this with you. And if I may ask for the slide number 2 now, thank you very much. So let's move to our pilot program, which I describe always as a small project with quite a big impact. So early in 2023, we initiated the project for kindergartens in the small mountain region in the north of the Czech Republic, where we operate and where we have one of our key factories, where also the car components for the entire Volkswagen Group are produced. We chosen this region because it didn't show the educational results it could according to the data. And we wanted to find out what it was, because the region, is well off economically and doesn't, at first glance, belong to the typical region struggling with social or socio-economic problems. So at the beginning of 2023, we have found our expert organization called Step by Step. I'm sure you may know it because it's worldwide. It's operating in 30 countries, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Teresa, please move to another slide. No, the previous one. The previous one still. Yeah, and we launched the Start Together program that offered a wide range of development activities. You can see it in the middle of the slide for preschool leadership and the teachers. It is important to say that this program responds to the specific MAP needs of the region, and throughout the program, preschool leadership gains additional opportunities for professional development and individual methodical support to their work, also including social development activities for parents, which I see as very important. So the quality of educational work in the program was clearly defined by the standards of the competent teacher of 21st century. This year, we evaluated the results, and we were quite surprised because the project had quite positive impact in very short time. If we have a look at the next slide, next, the previous one, yeah, that one. We can see the key findings in the middle, that after the intervention of the program, 50% of schools that were included teach according to the principles of definition of quality schools. Almost 80% of schools management support changes or are prepared for the changes in the future. Also, after the program, many kindergartens attracted new children and the parents. And also, we prevented one school from the intervention of the Czech inspection, so which is very clear impact of the program. So if maybe we can move to the last slide. If I had to summarize, I would like to say that maybe some points to be in common for our all programs, or especially to this one, that even in a relatively short time and with smaller investment, it's possible to deliver interesting results. And also, which was very interesting, inspiring, is that the preschool education is very much undervaluated in the Czech Republic. And I mean it like both financially and in terms of interest as well. But however, the intervention is very welcome here, and the kindergartens are very grateful for the programs. So, and maybe the last of my point is about the cooperation, because the cooperation with other stakeholders in education and social services is really for us in this area a key. Because as I tell you, the sustainability of changes in the future is really crucial, because we don't want to create kind of parallel worlds or small islands where schools thrive during the program. We need to changes to be sustained and started in other places as well. So that is the reason why we cooperate not only with the schools itself, but also with the other educational stakeholders as regional methodological centers, ministry as well, which is very important to us, the regional governments and municipalities, and also with other social organizations focused on child care. So that I would like to summarize about sustainability of the changes, and I think it's the end of my presentation, and I'm looking forward to the questions and the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Veronika. I love how all three of you kind of span, from a very specific to broader way that business can get involved. Feel free to put questions in the chat. I have a question though, Veronika, before we move on from your presentation. When you started working with the kindergartens with this pilot program, how did you decide what exactly the kindergartens needed to improve? Did you meet with them? Did you have experts coming in? Can you talk a bit about kind of how you decided, your course of working with these kindergartens?
Mm-hmm. It's a very good question, and we did the both, all things. We discuss it with the experts. We've seen the data, which is very important to us, and also we simply asked the kindergartens, because it can be kind of similar for many kindergartens in the Czech Republic, the problems and the challenges they have, but still working in some micro region, it can be something specific what they need, and we try to be very individual in the support. So that's the reason why we offer the kind of activities, the scope of activities, and they could pick what would suit to them the best. And so for us it was very important to know the specific needs of the region and of each kindergarten.
Thank you. And it looks like you have very clear outcomes you're measuring. I'm wondering for Lora and Dilyana, if each of you could talk a bit about what outcomes are you looking for, or do you talk about with your colleagues to know, okay, our approach is working. We are, meeting the outcomes we want or helping the children and families we are trying to help.
Maybe I should start, Lora. Yeah. So in terms of corporate partnerships, not only Generali, we do actually have a system that clarifies what we want to achieve together as partners. And all our corporate donors receive 2 times per year a very broad narrative and financial report. And I think that this is a very important aspect of our work, because in Bulgaria we do struggle with the whole NGO topic. There is a lack of trust in the sector as a whole due to many different issues, and we do try to be as transparent as possible as an organization, and to bring to corporate donors the story of the impact we do together. So right from the beginning, when we choose together the topic that they would like to invest in, either foster care or early childhood development or support of our daycare center for children with disabilities, we are very clear on what we want to achieve together, and we report on that twice per year. And as for the human safety net, we do have a very clear picture on the number of children we want to directly impact and also indirectly. So, for instance, brothers and sisters and children close to those that are directly supported, as well as parents. And maybe one of the most interesting aspects of our partnership with Generali and the Human Safety Net is that we also impact specialists on early childhood development. So we do have planned trainings and capacity building initiatives for all working professionals in the social, educational, and health sectors, because we do have a lack of education in Bulgaria in this particular aspect.
Thank you so much. Lora?
Yeah, if I may add, one important thing that I kind of just mentioned it briefly, the monitoring and evaluation element that our global team provides. So, for example, it's integrated into the projects, and it's crucial and super interesting that, for example, the Scale Up project now has an external impact assessment, which will bring also data about the impact of the services and support offered for our Children Foundation. I would say from a corporate point of view that it's yes, it's very, very useful to have this information twice per year and share it to our colleagues internally, because actually that element, that kind of information and data helps us build and sustain our engagement. Because as a CSR initiative, we do also have our set of KPIs, and these are, of course, in terms of number of volunteers, volunteering hours, but also the quality of those initiatives. So it's perhaps not necessarily a very robust system yet, but I think the way we think and the direction of the global team is actually in that direction of making things as transparent and as comprehensive as possible.
And if you allow me to just add something more, I think that for corporate donors, it's really different. It's really important to hear and see the stories, the success stories. So it's not so much about numbers. Yes, numbers are important, but corporate donors, at least in our experience, they really want to learn the story of the people we have we have helped together. So the storytelling is crucial when building long-lasting partnerships, and also the opportunity for our partners to actually meet and see for themselves the impact we do together. So we do try at least 2 or 3 times per year to organize a special gathering event, community event, or anything that can bring closer our partners with the beneficiaries of the foundation.
That's great. Thank you. And also, because we are more intimate and small, feel free, if anyone wants to ask a question, I'm happy to open it up to you as well. Yes, Maxim.
Yeah, hi, thank you. I have 2 questions, mostly to Veronika and Lora. And the first question is whether you cooperate with other philanthropic organizations or other businesses who are involved in the early childhood development in your countries or even beyond the borders of your countries.
Maybe if I start. So the question was about cooperation outside of the Czech Republic in my case, or in, because we've got rather national partners for our project from all sides, like NGOs, the institutions, governmental institutions, the other businesses as well. It's very various. It depends on the kind of a project.
Right. No, my question was rather about specifically cooperation with other businesses or other philanthropic organizations, donors who are supporting the same field, the field of early childhood development, whether there is any cooperation, collaboration?
Rather inspirational one, I would say, because our endowment fund of Škoda Auto, which is very much involved in the activities, it's a part of FILEA, the European association, and this is kind of a cooperation, like sharing the best practices and inspire ourselves, rather than some specific cooperation, like financially and organizationally.
I'm wondering what advice each of you would have to businesses, either in your countries or in other parts of the world, who want to get involved, who know this is something we should be involved in, but aren't quite sure where to start and may have more limited resources starting out. What advice would you give to those businesses to get started in supporting, early childhood in their areas?
I can take the floor because I was actually going to answer Maxime's question first. The direct answer is no, not yet, because in our case, the model of the human safety net is probably a bit more difficult to comprehend. It has a lot of elements that are linked together in order to make sense. And up until now, we have tried to consolidate and streamline all those elements to move as part of one. But it's actually now we feel that it's the right time to turn to our corporate partners. Our immediate, for example, the immediate circle of insurance companies in Bulgaria, some of them are already, for example, interested in supporting, let's say, formal education and the system after ECD. So baby steps. So baby steps in the right direction. And Jackie, to your question, I would say, I don't know, perhaps start small, but also, look into the future and imagine what could be your impact in, I don't know, 10, 15 years from now. We definitely need a dedicated team. And the one thing that I can definitely, guarantee that is needed, very communication internally, communication externally, and a lot of communication actually, just to make sure that we're all on the same page about the topic and why we do it and how we do it.
Yeah, Veronika or Dilyana, I would love to hear your thoughts too. And thank you, Lora.
Well, I'm not sure if I can speak for the business, but I can definitely speak for the nonprofits. And it also starts with communication and also resources. I know that a lot of nonprofits don't have, especially in Bulgaria, don't have fundraising teams. But I think that it is really important to invest in people that will have fundraising as part of their main responsibilities. And if not, the boards, the board of trustees has to be involved. And in our cases, our board of trustees is very much involved in fundraising and bringing new corporate partners along with the mission of the organization. So dedication and trust that when we are together in our mission to bring ECD to the topic, to the main conversation, it will be, we can achieve amazing things together.
Thank you. And maybe I would like to add that try to make a change maybe in the region or community you operate, because that makes sense. It's close to you and it's close also to your employees. And maybe also the second one, as I said already, to cooperate with the other partners and not to create parallel worlds, in the system, but try to incorporate it into existing system of your country, to cooperate with regional governments and ministries, and also to try to get the external validation, because sometimes you've got you've got the point, you understand it, you know what to do it. But once you've got the external validation from other points of view, it can give you another direction, and it makes things better even.
Thank you so much. We have a comment in the chat. I was at the ISSA conference in Bulgaria last year, and Afia, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, if you want to share this, feel free to unmute. Otherwise, I'm happy to read it. Go ahead. Yes.
Oh, hi everyone. I think I have a few faces recognized. Dilyana, I don't know. I feel like I saw you at the Bulgaria conference last year, but I might be wrong. Lora, I think I did. And yes, I feel like I've seen a couple faces, and I've been on this call for quite a while. And I really do like the Workplace to Grow DAS. Um, and last year I got the opportunity to visit a few nursery schools in Bulgaria and elementary schools and a middle school in Bulgaria. And so I think I'm very passionate about early childhood, especially in special education. And I would like to learn from that part of the world on how early childhood is reformed, and because I know a lot of the early childhood principles like Reggio Emilia, Montessori really took part in Rome and that part of the world. So I would want to take those principles to help the low. I know there's still work to do in Bulgaria and those parts of the world, but I think we can learn, like the African part of early childhood can learn from that part of the world. So I'm still early in my career and I have a business in mind, such a reading program in mind. And so I want to learn from organizations that I've been part of, such as these types of conversations, to know how I can benefit in terms of the learning aspects. And I also want to share my expertise in terms of presentation, and in special education. I'm very passionate about special education, and I'm hoping to be a spec ed specialist in the future. But yeah, Bulgaria gave me a big insight on early childhood, and I just was looking forward to after the conference, how can I keep being informed about the Bulgaria early childhood education and open up um my knowledge and just speak out of my comfort zone to learn about that part of early childhood. So
Well,
yeah.
we're so glad you're here, and this is such a good place to be. And I mean, Laura, Veronika, Dilyana, if you'd be willing to drop your contact information maybe in the chat, and then we can have, because I know we're just at the end of our time, but then we can have anyone interested follow up. Sorry to volunteer that for you, but you all seem open to sharing. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you to all of you for being here. And Maxim, is it okay to say we will post the presentations? And yes, and we're just so grateful for all of our panelists and for all of you joining and continuing this conversation. There we go. Dilyana has her contact information there. Maxim, is there anything you wanted to add before we wrap up?
I wasn't prepared to, but maybe Teresa can help me out. I know we have one more collective learning event.
Exactly.
Teresa knows the details.
Yes, so thank you everyone for joining us. We are planning to have 2 more sessions in June. So first one's gonna be in 2 weeks. It's gonna be about our Joint Action Fund projects, which we are supporting as Places to Grow. And then we will have some more about ourselves and about the closing the program. So we will keep you posted, and I'll have all of your contacts. So I'll send you the invitations via email.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.